Hello everyone. This is Tejas Thakur. I am the head of sales training at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. Thank you so much for supporting ProStart, our training initiative. It is a video based learning platform which has taken trainings to your mobiles, tablets, laptops, etc. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce to you the 10th module in this series, which is known as Debt Demystified. What we'll be doing in this module? Basically, we'll be talking about overall debt markets, how they work, terminologies used in debt markets, debt products, and debt mutual funds. I hope by the end of this session, you'll be able to discuss confidently with your customers about debt products and debt related events. Also, you'll be able to sell debt mutual fund schemes to your customers and make it a part of your portfolio. So let us now look at the session flow for this module. It comprises of 12 videos, which will be releasing every Tuesday and Friday. The videos would be on the following topics: debt and overview, debt market instruments, bonds, bond terminologies, part 1 and part 2, yield curves, part 1 and part 2, monetary basic policies, credit rating agencies, credit rating symbols, and finally, debt MF scheme categories. Today, we are going to start with the first video, which is the debt and overview. When we approach our customers for MF, what do we ask them for? We ask them for diversified equity funds, ELSS funds, as well as balance funds. But we normally do not ask them for debt funds, right? Have you ever noticed or observed why this is the case? This brings us to an important point which we need to understand, and that is, why do IFAs not promote debt MF schemes? It is because most of them believe that in debt MF schemes, the returns are less as compared to equity. The commissions are also less as compared to equity again. They are not completely safe. The default in debt space in the last several years have made us aware that debt funds are not safe anymore. It is not sticky money. We are all aware that the short term surplus cash is parked in debt funds. The inflows and outflows both are very high, which results in the money not staying around for too long. Not easy to understand? All of us have experienced that debt markets and debt products are complex, unlike their equity counterparts. Also, no formal training is available. Very few AMCs have a proper debt training module. We realized this need, hence decided to come up with a detailed, structured debt module trying to explain terms and concepts in the simplest possible manner. If I have to explain why most IFAs do not promote debt funds and what should be done about it in just one slide, one needs to look at something known as the debt MF dilemma. If I'm an IFA, I would just make three statements to sum up the entire situation. Statement number one, I do not understand. Number two, I am not interested. And statement number three, I do not sell. Can we do something about the situation to change it? The answer is yes. A strong will and consistent efforts will definitely help. If you feel that you will study debt in one day and become a master of it overnight, that's not going to happen. A strong will is required to study a subject as complex as debt. Also, only consistent efforts over a longer period of time will help. If studying debt is going to take a lot of efforts and time, the question which needs to be answered is it really worth it? Let's evaluate this point before we proceed further. Why should IFAs promote debt MF schemes? It is different money. A lot of IFAs believe that if a client was giving 10 lakhs in equity funds and he or she promotes a debt fund to the same client, the client will divert 4 lakhs from equity to debt, leaving only 6 lakhs in equity. This would not be advisable as it would reduce the overall commissions for the IFA. This thought is completely wrong. Remember, it is different money. We are asking money for investments in debt funds. We actually are trying to shift investments from other non-equity products to our schemes. The existing AUM will not get split into equity and debt, but there'll be a fresh inflow of money. It can also be a door opener. Typically, with HNI clients, this can open up new opportunities. If you discuss with your clients about debt related events, debt products, etc., it can lead to a large number of opportunities. It can be a door opener as well as a game changer for you. One more reason is that there is low risk, low resistance to invest. Why? Because the chances of loss are lower here. There are easy exit options and you do not have to wait till your current NAV is above the purchase price. All of this leads to low resistance to invest. You have to access FD and RD investors. As I said earlier, this is different money. You have to target clients in FDs and RDs. There is a huge amount of money which is lying there. You can also access small saving investors like National Saving Certificates, Kisan Vikas Patra, Senior Citizen Saving Schemes, etc. etc. You can also access retirement funds. Normally, these get invested in pension plans offered by life insurance companies and pension companies. You can divert that money into debt MF schemes and start a SWP from there, which is systematic withdrawal plan. If you understood all of these points, then it makes really a business sense for us to start promoting debt mutual funds on an urgent basis. And for that to happen, we need to start investing our time and effort to understand the debt markets and the debt mutual funds. Now let's look at the difference between the size of equity and debt mutual fund markets. So the size differential, equity versus debt MF. Equity mutual fund AUM is 9.77 lakh crores, whereas the debt MF AUM is 12.03 lakh crores as of 31st March 2020. The debt MF market is 23% more than the equity market. Just imagine if we are able to expand our horizons from the current 9.77 lakh crore equity MF market, which we're currently targeting, to 21.81 lakh crore total MF market, which comprises of equity and debt. To what levels will our business reach? Just imagine this. And that is the primary reason why I'm asking you to shift focus from only equity to equity plus debt. Now let's have a look at the Indian debt market overall. So if you see the Indian debt market, it has got three broad branches to it: the sovereign issuers, the public sector, and the private sector. In the sovereign issuers, there would be central and state government. In the public sector, we have government agencies, PSU banks, and the banks and the FIIs. In the private sector, you have corporate and the private sector banks. Let's dig down a little deeper. So the central government has products like T-bills, dated securities, CMBs, etc. The government has SGS or state government securities. Government agencies issue bonds. PSUs have CPs. Banks and FIIs issue CDs. Debentures and CPs are issued by corporates. And finally, the private sector bank issues CPs and CDs both. Now, all of these terms we will look at individually in the next slides. It is time to play on front foot, but cautiously. As we move on the risk matrix from low to high, the product categories which we see from left to right are liquid funds, ultra short-term debt funds, short duration funds, credit risk, dynamic debt and medium-term funds, and long duration funds. It's time to notch up the risk appetite, but one at a time. Great, guys. Now that we have learned a few things and brushed up on our knowledge, it is time to check our understanding of these topics. So, welcome to the quiz time. It is always good after you have learned something to test whether you have actually acquired the knowledge on that. And the best way to do that is to go through a small quiz. So let's see what questions we have for you. The self-check questions. So nobody's going to rate you on it. You rate yourself. The first question is, what is the debt MF dilemma? Think about it. We've already discussed in this video. The answer is, I do not understand. I am not interested, and hence I do not sell. Question number 2 coming up for you. What is the debt MF AUM? Think again. The answer is 12.03 lakh crores. The last question. Why should IFAs promote debt MF schemes? You can jot down as many points as possible. So the answer is any or all of the 6 points mentioned in this video. So thank you so much. And this was Tejas Thakur. I've given you my contact details here. Thank you so much for watching our first video on debt demystified. The second video will give you more insights about debt market instruments.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.